Hey guys, this is Rocket from StarrySky Gaming, and welcome to my Yuumi video, which will have discussion, skill order, runes, and even some interesting items that I think are viable and preferably work better with a kit compared to the traditional percent healing ones. So let's just get straight into it because it's probably going to be not a long video, but a decent size anyway. As obviously the champion, but the thing first of all I'm going to go through is we're going to talk about what her kit benefits from the best, and then that will transcend into everything else that I want to talk about. Okay, so Yuumi's base stats: 400 mana, pretty decent mana growth, all that kind of stuff. Though base health, from what I've seen in the game, is really poor. She's easily low health and quite easy to kill. MR's pretty low. But then again, your trading's going to be pretty bad once you're on a detached. But yeah, anyway, auto attack range. This is going to be a problem for her, especially if she wants to proc a passive. That's a major problem. So her passive is an interesting one because you have to get within range to hit them, and anyone that knows Yuumi's auto attack range is short, and proccing the passive is generally not worth it because the time you've gone up just for the mana and the shield. If they've turned around and hit you, you've already popped the shield. It's pointless. So her shield is, for me, it's not really beneficial to actually go up, especially if you're against the lane which has some hard CC. But anyway, her shield value goes up from 50 all the way up to 330, and then the mana she gets back is 30 up to 160. Now, if you are stupid enough to late game to want to proc her passive, then you would just ask him to be blown up. So for me, her passive is probably the worst part of her kit. You won't see me walking up and just trying to proc this just for a shield which is going to be popped straight away from someone also attacking me. Cooldown, it is what it is. It starts at 20 seconds, it goes all the way down to 8. So it's fine, really. It's just not worth it. The mana's nice, but it's just a bad passive, I think. It's not worth proccing it. Her Q for me is her best skill. I like this gun. It's a good skill. Mana cost is efficient. Cooldown, not too bad. Damage though, is pretty poor. From 40 up to 120 with 30 AP scaling. Once you're attached, 60 up to 220. I mean, it's fine. So basically, when you're attached, you do 40 plus 20. Yeah, but it has a fairly decent AP scaling, so the damage on it is pretty nice. Well, the scaling on it is pretty decent. Slow, it decays over 1.1 second all the way up to 1.5, I believe. This is probably meant to be 1.5. But yeah. Either way though, it's, 1 second, 1.1, 1.2, yeah, 1.4. So he messed this up a little bit. So the slow decaying over 2 seconds, it's not too great though, but if you max rank this, then it works quite nicely, And the damage, it's fairly decent. It's nothing special, but that's the damage again. It could probably do with some number tuning. Okay, so her W, You and Me, is the cooldown, no mana. You can go from everyone you want to do. So you can constantly W to people. This is probably one of the most underrated abilities of a kit, which a lot of people don't talk about. You can, obviously, when you attach to someone, they are going to get adaptive percent stats, which is what this means for is the more AP I build, the more AD I give them. And the AD they build, it gives me AP. So this alone will scale really well into late game and benefit your scaling on your Q and so forth. So when you attach to AD, you're instantly going to get some benefits from this. Okay, so Yuumi dashes to an eye champion. When your noob is attached, it follows up opponent's movements and targetable, and except from towers. This is not one of those things where you should attach and just go AFK. You should detach, reattach to actually have some presence in the lane, as for your ADCs to get dogpiled on and killed. Please, for the love of God, just don't AFK. Anyway, her E. This is probably the skill you want to max second. The mana cost, it's okay. I mean, you won't really notice it until like mid-game. The 100 mana is it's a lot, especially when you can use it in quick session. Cooldown's pretty nice. Self-heal, absolute trash. Not even worth using. I mean, that is so freaking bad for a self-heal. Plus a 10% scaling, absolute crap, absolute garbage, not worth. When you're on an ally, you get like 50 up to 130, still mediocre, 40% AP scaling. It's not the best, it's about average for enchanters really. But it increases with the missing health, which is down here. So if you want to heal them for more, you have to wait until they're below 20% health, which by then, mid to late game, if they're below 20% health and you don't heal them at the right time, they're dead. It should be at least below 40 to be actually decent, but they won't fall below 20 when it's too risky and people will die before you heal them. But for me, the best part about Hurry is some movement speed. This one, sorry. It's a movement speed. This is why this skill should be maxed second, sorry. Because you get 25 base and then 10% AP ratio. So basically the more AP you build, the better scaling it's going to give. And the more movement speed. So for me, the movement speed is more important than the actual healing. Because you can zoom into them twice, and with more AP, they're going to become really quick. So mobility is so key for an ADC. The heal is just, yeah, whatever. Movement speed, it's godlike. Final chapter, this ability is just bad. 100 mana, long cooldown, 3.5 second channel, launches 7 waves, damage is absolute garbage, AP ratio is garbage, missiles, extra missile damage, 40%. You need to actually hit 3 waves for rooted, and then for rooted to only be rooted for 1.57 seconds. 1.75 seconds. I know you can recast it on, not recast it, you can redirect it. So once you direct it in a line, you can W to other allies and then, try and reuse it to hit other enemies. But generally for me, the skill is not the best. I love it when people disband Discord. Overall, I would say her kit is lackluster. Definitely a B tier champion. I see a lot of people misplaying it wrong, and they're building too much utility because they think that they have to build. They have to go protective and all about healing, and then the ADCs get completely has to 1v2 because Yuumi's non-existent, has no combats, not very good in combat, and then they lose lane and lose game, and Yuumi gets flamed. So for me, the champion needs some number adjustments and needs to be built a lot more different to what I'm seeing. So this is what we're going to go into next. But first of all, we'll go to the skill order that I recommend on this champion. So the skill order that I've running and I agree with is Qmax into Emax. So the reason why I like Qmax for is because when you're attached, you can weave it like behind the minion waves, through terrain, through bushes, and you can, I'm directly behind the minion waves, and you can poke them. So max Q first, then max E. The heal's okay, but it's mostly for the mobility, and then the W last, because late game, once you max this last, and you're building AP, you will gain 21% adaptive stats. So let's just take, for example, say late game on Yuumi, if you build some AP items, you get 400 AP. You're roughly going to give 21% over to your AD, which is 80 plus. It's 80 something, maybe 81, 82, it could be a little bit higher maybe. And that's going to be a free item for them. So just alone for building AP, it makes a W really, really beneficial and great scaling for your AD. So it's just like a free item already, late game. Well, yeah, it is late game for you as a support. So yeah, Q first for the lane pressure and poke, E for the mobility, and you can say the heal if you want, and then late game W, because obviously it's going to be the last thing you're maxing. But the adaptive will make better use of your items late game, and then obviously points now whenever you want to. Yeah. Anyway, let's go over to my rune setup for this champion. Okay, we'll go for that, and then that. Okay, so this is the rune build that I'm currently using with Yuumi, and that I do actually recommend. Let's get rid of that. Now, the reason why I recommend this one for is because I see a lot of Yuumi players run Guardian with a lot of defensive runes, or they run Airy, which I can understand. Airy's still a decent one. But for me, the best one to build is Offense. I don't know, because she has no lane pressure, so you need some damage and you need some lane pressure. So they think twice about trying to 2v1 your ADC, because it's unfair if someone was attached and AFK. Yuumi needs lane pressure, Yuumi needs damage. And it's easy, it's so easy to hit your Q. So this is why you go offensive. You go Comet, because Comet has good damage and it scales well with AEP. Mana Flow Bland, because you want more poke. Absolute Focus, because Absolute Focus works really, really well with Yuumi's W, because she cannot be targeted while she's attached, which means you're going to have Absolute Focus, early game stats, scaling AP stats for most of the game, unless you're trading in lane to do some stuff. But this is probably the best rune in this tree, alone for her. I mean, you can go CDR if you want though, but if you really want damage and better scaling, this one is to go. Works so well with your kit, plus on your W as well, you'll instantly give over some free AD to your champion, because obviously your W scales of AP. Well, the adaptive does anyway. And then what you want Scorch. Scorch recently got buffed. I don't know if it was, I think it was 9.9. Yeah, 9.9 it got buffed. And this will just give you that extra bit of lane pressure. Now, a lot of people may think, well, you know, if you don't, there's no guarantee to actually land the comet. There is once you're attached and your Q has been in flight for over a second. Once you hit a target, they're slowed and so forth. And the slow is quite nice. So once you hit the Q, they're slowed. They take the base damage, additional damage, and then they're going to take Comet and Scorch. And then her cooldown's pretty decent, so you can actually poke them out of lane, and it's pretty easy once you weave it behind the minion wave and surprise them through bushes, terrain. You know, just try and actually start the Q from behind your character so they don't see it coming, so it gives them a little bit of surprise effects. And then try and, if you can, weave it through one of the side bushes or through a terrain, just to get a little bit of the extra surprise, so you can constantly harass them while you're safe. And then for me, I like to go in the Domination tree, mostly for Ghost Poro, because Ghost Poro obviously gives extra vision. So once you put your ward down, it's expired. Ghost Poro spawns. You will then get additional vision for 60 seconds. The best thing about it is that once they scare the Poro away, it will automatically warn ping. So you get one of the red pings, and it helps with map vision, map awareness, and you know, it's just really, really great just in case some lanes going on or something is happening that you have caught your attention. But also, it gives EP. The EP will scale really, really well with Yuumi's abilities, especially for her E, for the movement speed, and for the adaptive damage that W will give. And obviously more AP is good for your heals and for your Q damage. But so it's extra vision, a free warning ping for map awareness, and AP. 3 things alone from this rune is so good. It's especially if you're going to be attached often and you get complacent. At least then that's where you have a little bit of extra vision, and a warning will help you out, especially in a 1v2 situation. And then obviously Ultimate Hunter pretty much says what it does on the tin. Extra reduction on your ultimate. You have a long cooldown on your ultimate at rank 1, so this will help get your cooldown a bit quicker, because then you can make use of the utility and the roots. The damage is pretty bad. It has a big area effect, and it's just a little bit of extra time to reduce the cooldown and just make your utility and ult up more frequent. Now for the shards, basically 2 adaptive and then health. You're not really going to need resistances because you're going to be attached. So the health is going to be beneficial since your base health is so shit, honestly. And then this will just help out for more damage, more scaling, more benefits on your movement speed, on the healing, on your Q damage, on the adaptive for your W. So AP scales for a kit way better than percent healing. But obviously percent healing is nice anyway. So I've covered my thoughts about the champion, skill order, runes, and also I have some items which I think are interesting on Yuumi and probably work better with a kit. Okay, so starting items, always Spell Thieves, 2 pots, and your totem. So on your first back, you want to get your upgrade, maybe an Amp Tome, Refillable, Control Ward, Sweeper. Essential items. Now for me personally, I've tried this a lot on PBE before she even came out. And I had... I didn't even know why that's in now. Oof. Thank you. Now essential items are going to be... First item is going to be a Lost Chapter, obviously for mana, cooldown reduction, and ability power. As I said before, her kit scales better with ability power than it does with percent healing, because her heal is crap. Let's just get rid of this. Because honestly, thank you. Should have done that earlier. Okay, so Lost Chapter as her first item. And then, well, as the first early item. First completion item is you want Ludens. Now the reason why I say Ludens for is because it gives a lot of ability power, a lot of mana, so it gives you more poke, CDR, it gives all the stats you need, and also for the damage in lane. Now the reason why I say to go Ludens for is because obviously AP scales better with a kit than percent healing. So it's going to give you tons more movement speed, it'll make the healing better anyway, just because of scaling on it. It'll make the adaptive damage on her W better for your AD, so more AP you have, the more AD for your ADC, and just giving more damage in lane with her Q. So people think twice about messing with your ADC. So you have a Luden proc, you have Comet, and you have Scorch. And then you have all the AP from Ludens, your Absolute Focus, your Shards, from Ghost Poro, etc, etc, etc. And then just make her better overall, a better champion. Plus, even though, before everyone says, oh yeah, it's a really expensive item, it's 3,200, think about it this way. Normally on support items, on support champions, you will spend roughly 1k gold on boots. Yuumi does not need boots. You do not need to buy the boots of swiftness, boots of speed, whatever, the base boots are called. Right? And then you normally upgrade them to Mobies, CDR, sorcery boots, Merc Treads, Ninja Tabi, whatever is needed. So there's roughly 1k gold you spend on boots, like second item normally as a support. Well, first depends on if you want to roam, but anyway. So your standard support item is always going to be your Spellfeast tier 2, then it's normally boots, and then you normally go into like trying to build your first item like a Redemption, an Ardent, and a Fiend, whatever. Right. So in this case, let's say you go like an Ardent or an Fiend first. So if you go Ardent first, that's 2,300, and your boots are 1k. That's 3,300. You don't have to buy boots, so you're already saving 1k gold on Yuumi, which makes her like more gold efficient than any other support in the game, just alone. So you have 1k spare. So you can actually go and get an expensive item like Ludens and still be more gold efficient than other supports. And for this, you will get damage, CDR, mana, AP. This will scale really well with your champion, and it will give you lane pressure, and it will give you good mid game for damage, and maybe secure some kills. This is my take on it. Plus, you're going to have Comet and Scorch, so you're going to put out some really nice damage. And then after that, you want to get your healer item. Now, a lot of people go with Fiends, but I personally reckon Ardent, because a Fiends is only good if you can proc the passive. When a Fiends will benefit you overall more because of its passive for when you heal or shield, or when you W to someone, for example. You're going to get the percent healing with the shield, with the heal. You're going to get movement speed, which will help you a little bit if you're detached. And obviously, then you have the scaling when it comes to attack speed and on hit, but also 60 AP, 10% cooldown reduction, and mana regen. It's just a good item to get second instead of a Fiends. So it should be Ludens, Fiends, and then straight Death Cap. Now, for people, this is an expensive item. But the reason why I say Death Cap for is because Death Cap will give you a really, really strong mid game, lead into your late game, where the raw AP So by the time you get this, you'll probably be heading towards your mid to late game where you've maxed Q and E, and you'll probably it depends how the game goes. And you're probably going to put some points in W. So with the raw AP, it's going to make your movement speed insane, make your Q good damage, and then it'll mostly benefit your W's adaptive, which means you are going to be given a crap ton of AP converted to AD to your ADC. Raw AP is so beneficial on this champion. And this is literally the essential core items I would be building on Yuumi. Damage, AP, and then have my utility, Ardent, sorry. But if you do want to go to more of the protective route, and you want to be more of an enchanter, you can still run Comet, Scorch, and the rest of them, but you can always get your Athene's Redemption, and personally, Rylai's I think this actually synergizes quite well with a kit because of her ultimate. So whenever you hit your ultimate, you can W around the people, and then the Rylai's will slow them, making it easier for you to land roots and the damage. Synergizes really well with the ultimate, since the ultimate itself has no CC apart from when they hit 3 waves and then gets rooted. Okay, aggressive items. Now, it depends on your matchup and depends how things are going. If you need with healing reduction, you've got your Morellos, or you want Magic Pen. If you really want to snowball, you've got your Leandries, which synergizes really well with your Q. If you want need some % health burn against tanks, or health, whatever you really want though, but it's a nice aggressive item. A bit more damage because when you proc with your ult as well, you're going to get the increased damage from Leandries plus burn, but it mostly synergizes really well with your Q. It's an aggressive item. And then Twin Shadows if you really want to get some catch potential or some peel. But for me, when you're looking at a full build on Yuumi, personally I like to be running Ludens, Ardent, Athene's, Deathcap. Maybe I would say, it depends on the situation though, but I'd say Deathcap third, and then maybe Athene's fourth, depends on how things are going. But this is how generally like my full build will look like. So Ludens, Ardent, Deathcap, Athene's, Rylai's, and then my completed item, Eye of the Watcher. Sorry, Remnant of the Watcher. Because you won't need boots or anything. So this pretty much covers Yuumi's kit. Why I think AP scaling is better. Full AP is better than % healing items. Raw AP still gives AP, gives you your utility, definitely raw AP. Still more AP, but also gives you increased healing when you actually have some damage to back up and stack it properly. More utility, but still has good AP, synergizes well with your ult, and obviously you want to complete your support item at some point, maybe 5th, 6th, because that's not gold efficient. But overall, give these a try, see how you feel. Let me know in the comment section below. If there's any adaptations, I welcome the discussion about it. But yeah, give them a try, and overall, I think this really works better with Yuumi's kit compared to the traditional Let's Rush Athene's, Ardent, and Redemption. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this has helped you out a lot, and until next time, I will see you then.